Update. Am I the a-hole for telling my mom she's dead to me after expecting me to pay $2,000 for a cruise I'm not going on? Original post. A 17 male and my mom, 40 female, have had a rocky relationship for the past 4 months because of her relationship with my dad. My dad has never liked me or bonded with me due to him thinking I am an affair baby, even though I'm not. My dad has belittled and controlled me my entire life, and while my mom doesn't agree with it, she doesn't do anything to prevent it. To give you an idea, my family purposefully had their Christmas celebration while I wasn't home. I'm guessing so it wasn't obvious that they didn't get me anything. Meanwhile, they had gotten my brother, 15 male, and sister, 7 female, hundreds of dollars worth of gifts. Honestly, I'm used to this sort of treatment, but when I told some friends, they said it wasn't right. Since I started dating my 18 female girlfriend 5 months ago, my dad has upped the antics, telling me my girlfriend will cheat on me soon, preventing me from seeing her, basically trying to use her as another thing he can control me with. After a bad fight a week ago, my dad personally threatened my girlfriend, and then he took my phone, car, and kicked me out of the house. During the fight, he threatened to call the police on me, threatened to fight me, and was chasing me around the house. I ran down the road, and my mom and sister got in a car, and we spent the night at a hotel. The next day, though, my mom went back, because I guess she didn't have anywhere else to stay. Since then, I have been staying with my girlfriend and her family, who have been extremely kind and supportive. My mom told me she was going to leave my dad and buy a house within the next couple of weeks. This has been a common conversation for years, her saying she'll leave my dad and never does. So I don't know how much weight it holds. Now to recently. Yesterday, my mom told me she booked our family a week-long cruise. All of us together, including my dad. After some back and forth with my mom, of me saying I didn't want to spend a week with my dad, let alone on a cruise ship, she told me if I didn't go, I owed her $2,000. The cost of my ticket. I told my mom I never wanted to speak to her again, and that even if she buys a house, I won't be moving back in with her. I don't even know where they are planning on going or when it is. But on the other hand, maybe it could be fun? I have a bad relationship with my dad and brother, and from the looks of it, me and my mom are heading down that path. But I do have a great relationship with my little sister. I know I'm young, so maybe I'm just not seeing the bigger picture. Am I the jerk for not wanting to pay $2,000 for a cruise I didn't even want to go on in the first place? Edit. I have a job and can afford the $2,000, but it would be almost all of my savings for those wondering. I see a lot of people telling me to do a DNA test and are confused why there hasn't been one done already. I am sure I am his kid. I hate to say it, but I look exactly like him. I don't know if a DNA test or paternity test was done already when I was younger. Even if I were to get one done and throw the results in his face, I doubt it would change anything. He would probably deny it. I really think the only reason he has accused it is to further isolate me from my family. I also don't have the means to buy one right now. I am trying to save everything I can to buy my own car. In the future, when I am more stable, I may try and do one just for peace of mind. I know this may not make sense to most of you, but my dad is extremely stubborn. Now for the top comments before reading the update. Setting boundaries with your mom and dad. Not the a-hole. He's crazy and she's dysfunctionally enabling him. You do not owe her $2,000. She didn't ask you beforehand, and being trapped on a ship with your parents doesn't sound like a good time. Be careful about your relationship with your siblings though. You need to make it clear that you still care for and want a relationship with them, but you just can't live at home anymore because of the way your parents treat you, but not them. That distinction is important because you don't want to put them in the middle of this fight. Your parents will try to turn your siblings against you and claim you abandoned them. Be honest and genuine with your siblings about what's going on, but don't put your siblings in the middle of the fight, especially your little sister. Just let her know it's something between just you and your parents, and she has nothing to do with it. Do not encourage your siblings to take a side. I'm sorry you have to deal with all this. Good luck. OP used the time they are gone to go through the house and get your birth certificate, social security card, and any other important documents. Look up state or local law. Many places won't let them kick you out at 18 if you are enrolled in high school. Be prepared to report them to the school and sue. Start looking for places to stay. Keep every communication with them via text whenever possible. Start a new email and email all information to yourself. You may need it later. Can't hurt to have it. Change passwords on all your stuff. Look into getting a phone through a cheap plan like Visible and pick up a $100 phone through them or a similar service. Use the time they are gone wisely. Find a car if you can afford it. Look into renting a room with several other students. Get ready to get out. Sell things you have that are valuable and you no longer need. Get small items out and stored elsewhere. A bank box is a good spot. A close friend's house might work. Now for the update. A lot has happened. First off, I know this sounds horrible, but I really need help trying to navigate my situation with my mom. The people around me are trying their best, but I'm still at a loss, and the Reddit community has been extremely helpful so far. So, after reading all of the comments, I decided not to go on the cruise and not to pay my mom any money. I'm currently trying to move all my money into an account my girlfriend is opening up for me. Earlier yesterday morning, I had asked my mom if I could have the day off from school since my girlfriend was going on a trip and I wouldn't see her for a few days. She agreed, nothing out of the ordinary, and said she would let my dad know. To clarify, this is my second absence total. After about an hour of being out of school, my dad texted me a threatening message. When I talked to my mom about it, she told me she never gave me permission to skip school. I do have the text messages to prove she did. Around 30 minutes later, the cops showed up at my girlfriend's house because my dad had reported me for truancy. Obviously, this is not true. I talked to the cops while my girlfriend stayed inside, since I didn't want to get her involved. It was nerve-wracking as hell. He pretty much said I was fine and that I had done nothing wrong. Just make sure I'm not missing too many days in a row. I guess word got back to my dad that the cops did nothing, and that really pissed him off. So he reported me for stealing his car. I found this out from my mom and immediately called the police station, letting them know I was returning it and had no intention of stealing it since my dad had previously given me permission to use it. The cop I spoke with just told me to return it and take video and picture evidence of it there. I'm angry, and I'm totally done with my parents. They have threatened to call the cops on me numerous times before, but actually calling them? Yeah, no. Oh, and get this. My mom is still trying to convince me to go on this cruise. Apparently, it's now just a 3-day one. Obviously, I'm not going. My issue right now is my mom is threatening to call the police on me to bring me back home. I've been staying with my girlfriend and her family, and I feel incredibly loved and supported. I don't want to leave them. I've been extremely stressed and anxious about the thought of having to go back home. My dad doesn't even want me there, but my mom is threatening to report me as a runaway in order to bring me home. I am still 17, and legally, I'm not allowed to move out against my parents' wishes. I contacted a lawyer yesterday night to discuss possibly being emancipated. The lawyer messaged back today saying that he thinks I have a case and is willing to work with me. My mom told me by the end of this week, she will have a new place for us to move into. I feel like it's a blatant lie since she's going on a cruise at that time. Since I don't have a car anymore, my girlfriend and my girlfriend's mom have offered to take me to school and work. I would also like to mention that since I've been living with my girlfriend, my family hasn't supported me in any way. Another issue I'm having is I have not responded to any messages my mom has sent. I forgot to include that after they reported the car, they also shut off my phone. I ordered a new one that should be coming in a few days, thankfully. My girlfriend is on her trip right now, and my mom has been spamming her phone with messages trying to reach me. Same with my girlfriend's mom. I have no intention of talking to her. She has blamed every problem on my dad and has refused to hold herself accountable for anything. I am tired, confused, and don't know what the next steps I should take are. The fact your parents called the police on you twice, and they have documented that your parents are trying to use the police to get their way, while you're calmly explaining that you're just trying to find some peace. Even if they do call about you being a runaway, the cops will see you're safe, see your contact with an emancipation lawyer, and see how they've previously been called for BS. And they're very likely not going to put you back into harm's way. I'm not a lawyer, but it makes sense. This is what I'm hoping for. I'm calling the police station today though to try and get more clarification on whether or not they will take me back home if my parents do end up calling. Not the a-hole. You're handling this with a lot of strength and clarity, but have you considered reaching out to a local community center for additional support while you work through emancipation? It's surprising how quickly things escalated with the police involvement, but it seems like you're already taking the right steps to protect yourself. Everything happened so fast, I'm still trying to process it. My girlfriend's parents didn't feel comfortable having me there after the cops were called, without me taking legal action to be emancipated. I'll be looking into the local community center. Thanks. Next story. Am I the a-hole for not skipping my stepson's graduation, even though his mom is threatening to make a scene? I, 30 female, have been married to my husband, 41 male, for 5 years now. His son, 17, is graduating high school next month. I met him when he was 11. I've never tried to be his mom, and we took things slow. Over the years, we've built a decent relationship. I help out where I can, mostly behind the scenes, like rides, school stuff, and dinner when he's over. He's casually called me his bonus mom a couple of times, which I took as a good sign. However, his mom, Jan, has never liked me. She's never been openly hostile, but always cold and dismissive. I've never pushed her though. No drama, no trying to parent her kid. Just try to be supportive when he's with us. Anyway, he told us he wants me at his graduation. He said it directly and saved me a ticket. A week later, my husband gets a call from the school. And apparently, John emailed them and said only she and my husband would be attending, and that I shouldn't be allowed because of family issues. We had no idea she did this. My husband called the school to clear it up, and when we asked her about it, she basically said I was overstepping, and that graduation is for his real family. She told someone in the family that if I show up, she might leave, or worse, not let her son attend. Her son still wants me there. He even told his dad, don't let her ruin it. My husband fully supports me going, but now a couple of his relatives are telling me I should just stay home to avoid drama. Guess who called them about it? I get it's a sensitive day, but I'm not there to make a statement. I just want to show up, support him, and leave quietly like everyone else. Am I the a-hole for insisting on going? Now for the comments. Not the a-hole. Your stepson wants you there. Go. Your husband should tell his busybody relatives to mind their own business. I'll bet your stepson's mom will be on here in a couple of years, complaining that her son never visits her, but always visits his dad if she doesn't learn how to adult. He seems happier when he spends time in our house. She is running out of days to mess with you. That 18 clock is ticking closer and she knows it. Go and support your stepson like he wants. She won't matter in a few months. Not the a-hole. He will cut her off as soon as he can. This generation of kids constantly talks about toxic parents. I cannot tell you how often one of the more toxic ones have called me saying, my kid is at your house because I'm toxic. I just Venmo'd you money for feeding my kid. My kids tell me all the time how many of their friends wish their moms and dads would back off. I'm not perfect, but my good friend with kids 10 years older than mine told me when my oldest was 10 to stop with the helicopter parenting and to be totally backed off by 18. It was hard to do, but watching them step into being adults and handling their lives has been great. I give advice now when asked, and only after saying, do you want it high, mid, or low? We live long lives. I don't want my kids hating me over dumb stuff. Last story. Am I the a-hole for kicking my husband out over the comment he made about my kids at dinner? I, 36 female, have 2 kids, Mia, 14, and Liam, 16, from a previous marriage. They have done ice dancing together ever since they were little. Yes, before anyone asks, it's normal in a sport. They're a strong match, similar in size, and work very well as a team. The routines are expressive and dynamic, but age-appropriate, nothing suggestive. My husband, Mark, 38 male, and I have been together for almost 7 years. He's been in their lives since they were young, and they've always called him their stepdad. He used to be supportive, showing up to competitions, helping with rides, the usual. But over the last couple of years, his attitude started to shift for some reason. He started making weird comments about how close they are when they perform, stuff like how they're always wrapped around each other, or it's a little strange how intimate the choreography can look, sometimes within earshot of the kids. I shut that down hard every time. We've had full-blown arguments about it, and after the last time, he swore he'd stop bringing it up. Fast forward to a few nights ago, we had a couple of friends over for dinner. The kids were home and eating with us. One of our friends asked how skating was going, and the kids were talking about even though it's off-season, they're still training hard and keeping up with their practice. And then again, Mark went there by saying, yeah, they train hard, but it's still weird how into it they are. Like they're siblings, and they're all over each other. It's a bit much. Mia looked like she wanted to disappear. Liam just went quiet and stared him down, clearly angry. The whole table just went awkwardly silent, aside from an uncomfortable laugh from our friends, until someone changed the subject. I just felt done, but I didn't make a scene right there and then. As soon as everyone left and we were alone, I confronted him, told him I couldn't believe he would say something like that, especially in front of our friends and kids, after he promised he'd stop doing it. He'd tried to act like it was just one little comment, his opinion, and said I was being too sensitive again. I told him no, this isn't just a small thing, and I don't want him around me or the kids if he's going to act like this, and not even apologize for it. I told him to pack some bags and go. He's staying at his mom's house, and she called me, going off about me being dramatic, how Mark was just trying to express his concern, and that maybe deep down, I know it looks weird. I hung up on her. Meanwhile, my ex-husband heard about it from Mia and Liam and contacted me right away. He told me I did the right thing, and he has my back 100%. No hesitation. Mark has been texting and calling me, saying I blew things out of proportion and that I'm hurting the family over a throwaway comment. Now that I've time to cool down, I'm wondering if I took things too far and could have done things differently. So, am I the a-hole for kicking him out? Not the a-hole, especially if your ex has your back about this. You were completely in the right. Sorry, but your husband sounds like a douche canoe. I used to figure skate competitively when I was younger. Sibling partners in pairs and ice dance is very common. Besides already having a foundation of trust with your partner that would take years to build with a stranger, they are normally close in size, athleticism, and ability. Not to mention the fact that it resolves scheduling conflicts. Figure skating with another person as a team requires physical closeness. They cannot do the holds or throws properly or safely if they are not close. It isn't sexual, it's for safety, as well as good technique, which is part of their technical score. It's funny that you mentioned that. I'm not into figure skating at all, but I've noticed there are a lot of siblings that skate together. I just figured a big part of it was their familiarity with each other, and the fact that they've got a ready-made partner right there at home. It's like siblings engaging in pretty much any sport or physical activity together. OP's husband is an uptight perv. Someone should check his computer.